I confirm we live in a society where men consider women entirely responsible for the sexual needs being met. Women do not entirely rely on men the way they rely on us. There is something that I've been wanting to share with you, and I think I'm finally ready to introduce you to what's been truly going on in my head for the longest time. Let's go. Okay, let's be real. We live in a society where no matter what you do when you're a woman, especially the way you dress, you will be judged by everybody, men, women. And it's always been a big source of confusion for me because since I was a teenager, so the age you start, okay, developing as a woman, as a young lady, people start looking at you, and obviously, like many other girls, I was raised in fear, in shame of showing parts of my body to the world, and I never understood what was so wrong about it. Okay, this is really deep because it's something that's been following me my whole life, and I'm finally ready to share with you what I believe is one of the biggest lies the system society has ever told us. Okay, so please bear with me during this video. Watch it until the end, and if you don't agree with what I said, if this doesn't spark a light in you, never watching my videos again. Cancel me. Cancel me. But hear me out. Why? Why is it so triggering, controversial, and difficult for a woman to dress the way she wants? Why is feminine energy, femininity in this society is so taboo, controversial, judged, criticized? Why is it so hard for society to just accept femininity? Why is it so demonized? Okay, it's all revolving around the idea that you should never ever trigger men, basically. Okay, what we mean, what my mother meant, what people mean when they think you're being provocative in the way you dress, this is too much, you shouldn't dress like this, usually always revolve around never triggering men, never having them feel sexually attracted to you, basically. That's what this is about. They have no control over it. It's not their fault they were born like this. It's biological. If they ever feel triggered, they won't be able to control themselves and they might attack you. And if they do, that's not their fault because, this condition they were born with, they're just like that. And men are just born with this urge and they can't help it. It's just not their fault. That's just purely biological. And if they throw themselves at you, it's your fault. Like a beast, okay? Nothing should ever trigger that wild animal that will lose their sanity and throw themselves at you. And if that ever happens, this is your fault. You can only blame yourself. Everything in this society, in this world, is based around that. Everything is based around the fact that men are born into this world with two things. One, a condition, a special condition regarding sex. So they are basically sex addicts, but biologically born like this. And two, they have zero power over it, control over it. Basically, everything revolves around that. So what the does that even mean? There is no human on earth that is born with such a condition, all right? And I cannot believe humanity, the entire humanity bought that BS. I can't believe everybody bought that. And when you think about it, everyone is just behaving accordingly to that belief. Everyone. You probably. And it's very subconscious. It is deeply rooted in a subconscious collective that they have a condition. That's the way they are. They are just men. It's not their fault. And no one is even realizing this is beyond BS. It doesn't even mean anything. So I want to say two very simple things about this, okay? Two. The first one, what the heck does that mean? What does it mean? They can't see you like this. You can't show yourself like this. What the heck does it mean? What does it imply? Let's go at the very end of the reasoning. We'll realize a lot. It reminds me of that TV show Westworld with robots. For those who don't know about that TV show, it's basically robots, okay, living on an island, and they're programmed. But the thing is that they're not aware that they're robots. Everything they think they are is a programming that was injected in their mind, and they're just speaking, following a script, okay, a script that was pre-written by people. They are existing thinking that they are making their own choices, that they have their own opinion, that what they think is what they believe personally. But really, it's just a script, and you can see human beings in the backstage of watching them existing, following their scripts, and everything they're saying is showing on the screen. Like they're literally following the script that was written by people, and they have no idea. They don't even know they are being watched. They don't even know they are robots. I'm so sorry for this huge spoil because big spoil it was. Anyway, it's a great TV show. I find it very powerful. They will say things with such, intense emotions and convictions, thinking this is what they believe, this is their opinion, but they don't even realize this doesn't belong to them. And it really reminds me of us as a society, especially when it comes to men and this weird, mysterious, suspicious, normalized, the babysitting of their emotion, not even realizing it does not even make sense. People just keep saying, and I insist on the fact that women too, they will be saying, but they are men, that's just the way it is. Everybody say that, and it's always been such a mind freaking thing for me to grasp, because since I was an early teenager, I was already asking this question: what do you mean by that? And I swear no one ever was able to reply that question. They kept replying, I mean they're men, that's all. That's just the way it is. What does it mean? That's just the way it is. It's not an answer. I don't understand. What do you mean? They have their needs. Okay, men have needs. Okay, so they're men and men have needs. It's like the two programming sentences people keep saying over and over again, and there's literally nothing behind it, because there is nothing behind it, because it does not make sense at all. And is science able to back that information? Can science tell me, show me proof that because they are men, they cannot, be in presence of skin of the opposite sex? Or I want to see that report. Show me that report and explain that to me, because I need to understand. Guys, this is you. This is one of the biggest this world has ever created, and everybody fell for it, especially women. We've all been conditioned, myself included, so guilty as child. I'm still not going to slut shame anyone ever, because no matter how you dress, no matter how you behave, there is nothing on this world, nothing on this planet that could ever justify being attacked for it. It's just nonsense to me. And I can't believe as a civilization we're still at that stage of debating this. I can't believe it. So please take a moment to think about this. What the heck does it even mean to say they're men and they just can't deal with that? It doesn't mean anything at all. It is a programming, and there is literally no explanation, no valid information behind this sentence. It's just a script that everybody was injected and is just subconsciously, blindly following without even understanding. It doesn't mean anything. Number two, let's even pretend that yes, because you're a man, you can't control yourself because you have these urges and you can control them. Okay, fine. I really doubt this, but let's follow you in this. One of the biggest lies of history of mankind is that men must have sex whenever they feel like they have to. They are not able to resist the urge that is crossing their body. This is really the very deep root of the BS. But here, they don't have the ability to stop them. I'm laughing even saying this is so absurd, but humanity has been living following that belief. I can't believe it myself. They do not have the ability to control this urge. The urge in question is sex. I hope this won't be censored by YouTube. I don't know if these words are still okay to say. So this is a topic I'm gonna have to say these words. So let's see how it goes. I wouldn't be surprised that this video gets censored because it's so powerful, so important. Let's even say every time they have, they feel like having sex, they must have sex. Then what I want to tell you is have sex, then go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and have sex. I'm still waiting to understand what I have to do with this, what I have to do in this equation. Let me ask you a question. Can you define sex for me, please? I'll wait. Sex is such a large, vast word that can mean everything and nothing at the same time. Basically, in this society, sex tend to be associated with sexual intercourse, which is a huge problem to me and to women because this is what men tend to mistake all the time. So when society system says men have sex urges and they don't have the choice but to fulfill them, I want to say fulfill them then. Because yes, in order to have access to sex, all you have to do is touch yourself. We are beings that have been created with sexual organs. We are entirely self-sufficient beings. Basically, we can have access to anything we want whenever we want. We are self-sufficient. If you want to have access to sex, all you have to do is touch yourself. And you can have access to sex like that. You're having sex when you masturbate. You have sex. You have it. So when you say, I'm feeling horny and deal with that frustration yourself, it's literally like going outside and becoming violent because you see pastries and beautiful cookies everywhere and you can control yourself. You break windows and you enter and you take it when you have food at home. It doesn't even make sense. You're not even a homeless person who's struggling. No, you have an apartment and a fridge full of food, but you're behaving aggressively, acting like you can't control yourself. And everyone is validating that behavior, is approving that behavior. This behavior is normalized. What the hell? The moment you touch yourself, reach orgasm by yourself, I want to say even intercourse with yourself from a spiritual point of view, that's what it is. You have sex with yourself when you masturbate. This is actually the phrasing that I like to use because I don't even want to say that I masturbate. I find this word ugly. I just say that I have sex with myself. I've had one of the best experiences like that. So I'm going to repeat my question. So men, I'm asking you seriously, when you say I have sex urges, we need to have sex a certain amount of time a day, and these needs must be met at all costs, or nobody knows what's gonna happen, nothing, but never mind. Or you'll die, apparently. I would like science to back that as well, because I'm still very confused about that one. Seems like big BS to me too, but anyway. Please explain to me what exactly it is that you mean by sex. Because apparently to you, I feel like sex itself equals penetrating a woman specifically. That's a weird definition. That's the only way for you to have access to that? That explains a lot, a lot. If that's the only way you think you can have access to sex, I understand everything. It's like thinking the only way you can have access to food, to eating, the feeling of eating, is literally having a person putting the fork in your mouth for you. It's the same thing. And if someone isn't doing that for you, you can't eat. You do have food here though. And you eat, you actually eat sometimes, but you prefer when the person is doing that for you and you're behaving like you don't have any other ways to have access to that. If that makes sense to anyone, please enlighten me because that doesn't make sense to me. So basically, in a nutshell, men can have access to sex anytime they want, and yet this entire society conspired into babysitting their emotions and their desires and making women responsible for it. That's the biggest I've ever heard in my life. I confirm, we live in a society where men consider women entirely responsible for the sexual needs being met. Women do not entirely rely on men the way they rely on us. They rely on women, for pretty much everything. And this speaks volume on where we are mentally, seriously sick this society is, this world is. So men, I just want to say, you want to have sex? Have sex. Turning to me every time you feel horny, that's your problem. Stop making it mine. Deal with it yourself, like everybody else. There is a difference between eating and going to the restaurant with somebody. If you want to share a meal with another person, that's another story. Okay, I'm hungry, but it's best if, I could invite someone over or go together somewhere. Then you're gonna have to ask permission to that person first. That's another topic for another day. That's called consent. And I cannot believe anyone would have to explain that. I just wanted to clarify this once and for all because I feel like this is so blurry to so many people still. I'm gonna keep talking about this because there's more to say. But basically, my point is, what the is my point. I can't believe everyone bought this nonsense. The entire world revolves around that lie, and everyone's being careful. Like, oh my god, let's be careful not to trigger these beings. Like you have someone who's like, yeah, sick, have a sickness, is a bit slower than the others, and we have to be careful to them. It's not their fault. What the hell? Like, this is the biggest nonsense mystery that I've never understood. And because people can become aggressive when receiving a big truth, I feel like sharing it in video might be a better idea. Hoping this finds you well, whoever you are. I would really appreciate you to share. This is a message the entire world needs to see. And as a society, I think it's urgent now that we come together and we start going over the foundation of our civilization. There's a lot of bullshit that needs to be cleaned, because I think it's very important that we start looking what we're sitting on and stop acting surprised that everything's shaking all the time, because the foundation is nonsense, complete nonsense. There's a lot of people sleeping, and self-awareness, like realizing things, what you're doing, taking back your power, thinking, wait, why am I doing this again? I don't even understand why I'm doing this like that, why I'm thinking like that. I think it's crucial for any healing, any evolution, building anything better. Looking at the very roots, what we're doing is fundamental. Anyway, I'll see you soon. I'm gonna go out, take a little stroll at the park. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you realize something, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.